The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Global Market Pulse with your host, John Logan. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044. Now, John Logan.
Hi, guys. Welcome back to the show. Hope you guys are having a good morning. And like JB says in the den, it's incredible weather. I don't know if you can see behind me, but it's feels like springtime again this morning. Past couple of days, it was literally hot. I got on my bicycle and rode it and was sweating. I sweat in a lot of different situations, but it was interesting how 75 degrees. Everybody's running around in shorts. It feels like South Florida here. But last winter, it was incredibly, well, you guys, I don't have to tell you this, the guys in Boston and up north, this is a stark contrast to what happened last year. And, them's the breaks. I don't blame it on global warming. That's just the way the ball bounces sometimes. Different winters are sometimes very mild. No kidding, JB. All right, let's get into it here. As we look at these charts, I want to just really start with the S&Ps. When I always, in addition to looking at the breadth situation and looking at the profiles, I always kind of look at, how much have we actually retraced. The percentage retracement is a lot of times in my mind. And, yesterday I was playing around. Okay, we closed below the day before. We went back and retested to some degree yesterday. Couldn't get through that 2021 area, 2022. This morning we're poking our head above. But yesterday, when we had come down so far, and then you could kind of notice that it was just a throw-up situation, and it might be an opportunity to start playing around with a couple of things. There was not anything to hold on to here in a grand sense, but I was playing around with some Nadex options yesterday, and just way out of the money up top. And it was interesting to watch those things inflate. Basically, there was some no bid options that I was playing around with, just buying the offers at like 5 or 6 points, and then trying to manage that position as we rallied up, using some of our profiles as we look at them here. So as we got back above this 2,000 area yesterday and then kind of retested it, I was doing a little bit of trading against the long-term trend down situation there. That's something I don't put a lot of weight into. It's just something, when we have, standard deviation type moves away from where price was consolidating before, around that 2,100 area on the S&Ps. Sometimes it's there's some opportunities there, and if you don't put a large percentage of your portfolio on it, it's a part of the trading game. So again, yesterday we just completely imploded, and in that situation, when we kind of get back down below that 2,000, we talked about the 2,000 area being a point of concern, and that was based around the POC on the weekly, which is what I'm showing right now. And I'm going to pull up our scanner, and I'm going to go to my future section, or let's just go to one of my breadth charts here. That POC right there, 2002 through 2003, we had some information too around 2001. We talked about three things yesterday. We talked about the psychological barrier of just the neighborhood of 2000, the 2001 unfair lows on the 240s, and that big POC on the weekly. So in a wide profile, we always talk about, does the POC have relevance? And it's like the top of the hill. You kind of roll down one side and roll down the other. So, we got to that area, 2000, neighborhood. I tried to pick a battle there. I got stopped out. We got back above. Then I started playing around with the Nadex options. All right. So, and again, it's the huge odds aren't in your favor on situations like that. And, the targets for me up top were in the neighborhood of, the upper lows on our daily, which were 2021. So, got a little bit of a pop there, but nothing big. So, what do you do now? In my opinion, we've yesterday we got almost down into to 1980. So we've rallied almost 45, 50 points off of the lows yesterday. And as we look at our breadth situation, we're kind of getting a little positive on our 60 again, pre-market here. And yeah, as you can see, I'm going to take the middle ground out on this one because you really don't need to even look at that very much. But another indicator on here I was looking at yesterday is when we have it says new box below, new box above over here. When we have new box belows starting to populate and especially get above 10%, then you got to look at that as an indication that we might start bottoming even on the short-term indications on the 60 minutes. So this area yesterday started getting populated, but what's concerning to me about this thing going higher is we've got a lot of profiles attempting to appear on our 240 on the close yesterday. That means new demand areas. That means new overhanging supply. And that coupled with our long-term breadths being negative now, I'm very, very big on looking at 2023 into 2045 as a big area of overhanging resistance, all right, for the long-term guys. For the short-term guys, I think you could actually start looking at 2023 as some kind of, we've had some overseas markets that have rallied. There's no doubt about that. There's some obvious apprehension in the junk bond market. That's being taken to some degree by some folks as kind of a sea change that might be happening here and an indicator in itself. But that little rally yesterday and the break in the so-called tide of the marketplace, I'm looking at 2021, 22, 23 as a shorting opportunity up into, on the short term, 2032. So I think I'm going to trade this a little bit lighter. I'm going to put stops definitely above my DMZ, above 2032, but I'm looking to play this and kind of step on the short gas pedal again below 2021, 22. So up in here, I'm willing to take a little pain on the S&Ps on the short side, let it move a little bit higher if that's what it's going to do, but probably, based on my appetite for risk above 2032, I'm going to be looking at putting the stops in on this thing and then trying it again if we can get back down into that DMZ. Okay, we're going to take a look at gold really quick. All right, we're going to take a look at gold. Now, this one made pretty significant lows yesterday. I think they were saying it, what was it? Let me see here. This is February gold. Let me just make sure we're right here. Okay. 1060, we've talked about this area right here on the bottom of our weekly profiles, and this is in the scanner. I'm going to pull this up. We're going to go to our futures section, and we're going to take a look at gold, and there's that 1060 area with the arrow pointing down, meaning the long-term trend is still down, even though we're within a balanced area, and we've been below profiles for 32 straight days on their daily. But we're starting to look at this 1060 area again as, you got to be willing to sell breakdowns on it. Things on the lows go lower. Here's the daily. There's no new profiles attempting to appear down here. You've got a chance to look at 1060 and stops below. Again, we talked about that yesterday and the day before about a chance to do a little bit of a contra trade north against the long-term trend south. But what I want to do here is explicitly say the trend is still down on gold. you're still theoretically looking for resistance areas to sell, but let's see here, Dave. Okay, we got a caller. I'm going to get to him in just a second. But as we look at gold, if we get down below 1060, the default action should be to sell that breakdown on daily closes below 1060. I think we got a caller. Dave from Clearwater, are you there?
Morning, John. How are you, sir?
Doing all right. How are you?
Hey, I am doing well as well. I appreciate you taking my call. I'd called a couple weeks ago, and I think I finally got the Mac operating systems figured out. I called a good buddy of mine who's a computer engineer.
Great.
And I've got spent some money here. Bought some VM Fusionware and Microsoft 10 operating system. This is a commitment, John. Got the checkbook out, man. Started buying stuff.
Oh, wow.
And I just about every day I wanted to, because I'm very intrigued by this software. So every day I've been hearing you say, well, we got, this update coming, we got that update coming. When would be, because I kind of been holding back, just waiting for these releases here.
Yeah, actually, we've got what we're doing, just so you know that we're not just farting around here. We're putting in a snapshot chart for price relative to profile. So it'll be similar. If you're looking at my screen, it'll be similar to a price chart down below here with the boxes, the levels painted on them for those time frames on each instrument. And we're going to start out with the futures and the currencies. So I can get an idea. We're going to get a break in about a minute, but let me actually just ping one of my programmers on the break. And what I'll do is that when we come back from the break, I will give you a definite day. I mean, we've got a lot of guys going on vacation after Friday, so I know we're going to be doing a release by Friday, but I thought it was going to be by tomorrow. So, so I'll find out, and then I'll come back on this. When we come back from break, if you want to hang around and hang through break, we can.
Yeah, I do, because there's another question I would like to ask you, if that's okay.
Yeah, man. Is it about the S&Ps or
no?
Some of
it's about the TAS profile software itself.
Okay, great. Well, let me go ahead and say, because I know we were talking about the S&Ps before, and we got about 20 seconds here. I don't know if you're looking at my charts or my breadth screen here. What we've done on these odometers, there's green, blue, red, and yellow that can appear on these dials. And when we come back from break, I see we got like 5 seconds now. We're going to explore a little bit what those colors mean as you kind of glance at them, and what was happening yesterday based on some of the sell-offs and then the little bit of a turnaround we had, small turnaround. So, Dave, if you can hang out, I really appreciate it.
No, it'd be great. Thank you.
Great.
TFNN is excited to offer a brand new piece of market scanning software unlike anything the industry has ever seen. John Logan and his team have spent years developing their market profile tools to finally be able to release the TAS Profile Scanner Plus. And right now you can get a 2-week trial absolutely free just by visiting TFNN.com and providing us your name and email address. The TAS Profile Scanner Plus is the premier market profile-based scanner in the industry. Powered by the acclaimed TAS proprietary algorithms, this feature-rich scanner is a standalone desktop software that instantly filters over 2,500 global financial markets such as stocks, ETFs, commodity futures, and Forex. Within 3 minutes of signing up, you can have the software downloaded and running on your computer with a complete roadmap of market indicators and inflection points to trade off using the TAS Profile Scanner Plus. Sign up today and try this amazing piece of software by visiting TFNN.com. Tiger TV is an exciting way to experience TFNN programming. See high-definition video, giving you crystal clear charts, as well as seeing some of the faces of TFNN's highly acclaimed financial experts with crisp, full-fidelity sound. Catch Tom O'Brien, John Logan, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, Larry Pesavento, Think or Swim, David White, Andy Hecht, and Daryl Martin in crystal clear, high-definition audio and video. Tiger TV, exclusively at TFNN.com.
platinum, grains, crude oil, gold, copper, cattle, hogs, gasoline, natural gas, coffee, cotton, cocoa, and sugar. These are just some of the commodities mentioned in the most recent issue of Andy Hecht's Techno-Mental Commodity Report. Andy publishes his weekly newsletter every Thursday morning, where he breaks down the commodity market and provides his subscribers with specific trading recommendations based on his trading methodology. By signing up for a free trial to the Techno-Mental Commodity Report, you'll get a full 30 days to try out this powerful newsletter service and see for yourself the types of trades Andy has recommended for his subscribers. When you sign up for a 30-day free trial, you're under no obligation to pay anything. And should you decide to continue, you will lock in the low rate of only $79 a month. Sign up right now for the Techno-Mental Commodity Report and make sure you're ready to catch the next big trade in commodities. For more information and to get started today, visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Until recently, it was almost impossible for the average investor to hedge against currency risk in Europe or Japan. For a bold trade on Europe or Japan that protects against moves in currency, trade HEGE or HEGJ, 2 times currency hedged leveraged ETFs from Direction Investments. Visit directioninvestments.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Many of our new listeners have heard about the Tiger's Den, but wondered, what exactly is it? The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of your favorite TFNN shows, plus see all the charts as they happen live during those shows, and have access to all those charts. You can test drive the Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days. It will greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets. Details on the Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com. John takes your phone calls. Now. Toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044.
Hi, guys. Welcome back to the show. Dave, are you still with us?
Yes, I am.
Great. I want to say something about, maybe something we didn't talk about before. Sometimes I just literally forget things. But a lot of times these crossovers are great, and I use it to kind of block out one side of the marketplace. I've been a little hesitant. The weeklies turned over a little late this time, and, they definitely were negative when we got down below. We were kind of transitioning from that 2045 on the December contract to this new contract on the S&Ps. But one of the indicators, and a gentleman, Tucker, had called in about this, and he was very, very interested in some of the, innuendos on how to read these breadth charts and what they were about. But he was talking about overextensions, like when we had that yesterday, I believe on the daily, on the 4-hour, we just got into really, really extended mode where we were, in this case, 76% above or below profiles and 5% below. And on the dailies, we were 67% and 7. And, where do you start looking at either taking off the weight of the direction you're going, or even possibly looking at a turnaround? There's something on the speed dials or on the odometers. It's a yellow section, and I don't really talk about it that much, but I'm going to go into the 240s here. And yesterday we started having, and you'll see that 14.6%, 73 of the stocks were trading. We're starting to form new profiles. And what that is, and it's hard to do back testing on this, but what that is, Dave and Tucker, if you're listening, is that is the amount of instruments that are attempting to create new in this case, basically support areas or new profiles. So that in itself is an indicator. Now, sometimes they will flash and then kind of disappear. So when it's hard to backtest something unless you do it based on the close. I don't know if you've done any backtesting, Dave, before.
Some, not as much as I probably should.
Right. Well, no. Listen, it's a very, you can have 5 or 10 programmers sitting there trying to do backtesting on different concepts, and the more kind of ideas you have, the more permutations it kind of grows off of the tree, and then it's just like, wow, God, okay, and you have to kind of like figure out a base core and then kind of keep going from there. But on backtesting, like new profiles attempting to appear, sometimes they appear and then kind of disappear, and then you're like, well, how do I know what's valid and what's not? You have to do it on the close. So, and a lot of times that's very, very late in the game. When they close, they kind of solidify themselves. So when they're flashing, and this speed dial will tell you right here when they're starting to flash, when it's saying, okay, we might be overextended here, and we're starting to form kind of a new base. That's a lot of times a really good target situation. We talk about this all the time just on the charts. And I'm going to go to my charts here. Yeah, that's my currencies. Hold on. Let me go back to my futures. We talk about this all the time. I'm going to go to my Canadian dollar. Let me go back to the currencies. Canadian dollar. We've been talking about this a lot. And now that we've got a hint, like a yellow bar, which is like a new profile attempting to appear on the daily, it hasn't locked in, right? But it's saying, hey, I'm thinking about putting a profile here. That in itself, a lot of times will be just like it will show up on the speed dial. If this was an instrument in the S&P and there was a lot of them, it would start populating that yellow part of the speed dial or odometer a little more prevalently. And that a lot of times is where I start going, okay, we've got some points in our pocket. It might be time to start thinking about, taking some weight off here. Don't have to take it all off, but it's an indicator in itself. And it's just something that when we devised this, system here, I just wanted everything in our face as much as possible. So just wanted to get that out. And I've talked the entire time this break. If you can hang on again, we can talk about the indicators.
Sure.
If you want to. If you don't have time.
Definitely. Because if you don't mind, because there's a question I think fits in with what you're trying to accomplish with the software. So that would be great if I could hold.
Perfect. Yeah.
If you're an active trader looking for that extra edge when it comes to trading and investments, then now is a great time to get a 2-week free trial to Tom O'Brien's daily market letter, Market Insights. Tom O'Brien's daily newsletter, Market Insights, comes out every market day at around 9:30 a.m. and provides Tom's daily commentary on the broad market, including the Dow, NASDAQ, and S&P, plus specific trade recommendations. There's even an update published most afternoons to keep you informed about the day's market activity. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock and option trade. With Market Insights, there's nothing left to guessing. For all the details and to get your 2-week free trial to Market Insights started today, visit TFNN.com.
It's true. Life is all about choices. At Everbank, they're making it easy for you to make a smart one with this special cash offer. Open a new yield pledge money market account with funds from another financial institution, or deposit new funds into an existing yield pledge money market account, and you could earn up to a $500 cash reward. And if you're opening a new account, you'll also get their new higher 6-month bonus interest rate, along with their yield pledge promise that ensures your yield will always be in the top 5% of competitive accounts at banks nationwide. Open a new account or add to one. It's your choice. To qualify, you must meet balance and other limited time offer requirements. Go to everbank.com/TFNN for details and deposit options, or speak with one of their banking specialists at 1-855-750-4051 for more information. You must act by December 31st, 2015 to be eligible. Everbank is a member FDIC.
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABC's, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com. Larry Pesavento has just started his brand new service, Fibonacci 24/7, and he's already delivering content to his subscribers on a daily basis when the market's opened and even on weekends. Each Monday, you'll receive Larry's written report that provides detailed commentary and a summary on the charts and videos that Larry sends out. And throughout the week, when warranted, Larry will send out via charts or videos or both the key markets that he is watching during the day. This will be up-to-the-date, active trading information that will help you in your daily trading. In Larry's first week alone, he sent out 25 charts, 6 videos, and a full report to his subscribers in just 1 week. If you're a technical trader that uses patterns and retracements to trade, then Larry's service Fibonacci 24/7 is something that you must try. Right now, new subscribers can get a full 30-day money-back guarantee. With nothing to risk, sign up now to Larry Pesavento's Fibonacci 24/7 by visiting the front page of TFNN.com under Trading Newsletters.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Hi, guys. Welcome back to the show. Dave, you still there?
Yes.
Man, thanks for spending all your time this morning with me. Okay, so, yeah, I've run my mouth a lot. What were something you were going to say about the indicators here?
It's more of a generic question than the indicators per se. I mean, here goes.
Okay.
I know you've mentioned that you're trying to, obviously since you're on TFNN, you're looking to market this program to the masses versus just running your own hedge fund.
I think it's got a lot of appeal. It really, really helps us out in our internal training, but go ahead. Yes.
So here goes. Here's my question. Let's say you got someone like me who doesn't trade for a living, but trades a lot and doesn't have time every morning at 8 o'clock to watch your program, but is intrigued by what you see. So what would be your recommendation to someone who calls you up and says, who's even like new to trading? Let's say, for example, I'm not, but let's just say I was. Calls them and says, "Hey, John, this looks great. I'm gonna buy your service and buy the profile service here through TFNN. And what is the first thing I should do to start learning? Let's say they pretty much understand the markets. They just don't understand your program. What would be the first starting point? Because there's a lot of sophistication to this. And when you're watching the program, I mean, we're kind of jumping around. There's the tutorial that you put out that I did watch, where you have the profiles on there and the breadth scanners, I should say. And, pretty generic statements like when the red line's above the green line, generally the market you want to short, green line over red, you generally speaking, you want to, be looking to go long. So what is your answer to that question? Are there videos that you guys are in doing, or are there tutorials in the program itself? How do I get started?
Okay. Well, the scanner, I think, encompasses a lot. And what you said earlier about, there's there's a lot there. There's a lot of little, there's a lot to learn, put it that way. I've got a partner in Chicago, and we do daily, I think from Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, and I think this is recorded. It's archived all the time, just like this show is, by the way. We do kind of a little boot camp thing Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I can't even remember what we're calling it right now. Let me by the way, the scanner on TFNN is always cheaper than what we sell it for on our own website. But let me see when those tutorials are, just the times. I think I want to say they're from 10 Eastern to 12 Eastern every day, somewhere in that neighborhood. It's about 2 hours. We'll go into the Learn section on our site here. This is one of our sites. It's called LTG Live, Learn, Trade, Grow. And it's something we do. Let me just see when the latest times we do it are. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. It says it's from 9 a.m. to around 9:30 or 10, but I think he extends it out sometimes to even 2 hours based on how many people are asking questions. That's one of the things that we have. That's generally futures and currency futures related. There's not a lot of, I don't know exactly what kind of instruments you're trading these days, Dave.
Futures, my friend.
Okay. We all end up going to futures at some point. It's funny that, I actually started trading futures first. I didn't really know what a stock was I went in a Merrill Lynch office when I was 15 and started, long-term investing or whatever. But hardcore trading, I actually started out on futures and options on futures. So I think I was the reverse of a lot of people. But so we've got that sitting there. I'm also doing, I kind of did the webinar. It was hard to touch on a lot of things in an hour and a half. I promise you, one of the difficult things about doing educational materials or manuals or things like that is when the software is constantly being upgraded and in flux and new things are being added literally on a weekly basis. I've held off on doing a lot of things video educational series wise. I'm telling you right now, before the start of the year and actually before Christmas, I'm trying to get all this done. And I'm talking about, 5-step series. How do you make money with this information? Not what happens when you press the green button information. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I'm doing a video series on exactly, in my opinion, how to use this to its greatest benefit. And I've waited until we kind of got this thing exactly where I wanted it to do those, because I wanted all the features in without having to go to another chart like on eSignal to actually complete the thought process for everybody. And then, as somebody who might be a subscriber is like, okay, just like you're considering, okay, maybe I need to get the indicators also. What I want, and it's happening this week, is a chart little icon. Everybody's got their own charting package, and pretty much, if you got an account with Thinkorswim or Interactive Brokers or some of the household names out there, I'm assuming they give you free quotes and free platform and everything these days. Is that?
From my standpoint, I've traded with a lot of platforms. Thinkorswim is the best value out there. What I'm saying? They don't even charge for anything. Literally just open an account and futures, okay. Forex, pick one. We're trying information.
Yeah, I kind of feel the same way. We're trying to write our indicators into that platform, but their whole thing is Java, and we can't secure some things that we want to secure, and we're trying to figure out a way to do that right now with some jar files. And we usually do things through DLLs, but that doesn't work in the way they do things. But that being said, I'm assuming everybody's got their own kind of way to track price. And what, I visually kind of go back to the charts all the time, but we're putting something in here that hopefully you won't have to veer away from the scanner itself. And that's a snap chart, kind of like the landscape chart, but it's actually historical data, the latest level of the market, and the profiles painted on them. All right. And also some of the things that we're doing, with I'm enhancing these TAS says areas pretty heavily before Christmas too. That won't require a new build. You'll just see those change. But to answer your question, I'm doing a lot of educational materials based on the last version of this, so I really don't have to kind of keep redoing them. And I apologize for them not being there already.
Is the service that one can purchase through TFNN, is that everything that you show on your program here part of that program, or is there an a la carte?
Ask it again. I'm sorry.
Okay, when I'm watching your program, the breath scanners and the profiles that are shown, because you'd mentioned something about, and I was slightly confused by your comment about charging for another service. I was assuming, was that the e-signal type information, or is everything that we see on your television program covered in the service fee?
Well, I'll tell you what, if somebody out there has the scanner or wants to get the scanner, I will talk to my COO, I guess I'll call him, up in Chicago, and I will, if you send me an email, specifically me an email, I will see if we can just kind of throw the indicators in. And when I say that, we've got indicators on the trade stations of the world. We got about 8 platforms we deal with. Bloomberg's one of them. The thing about Bloomberg, we kind of give away a lot of things for free on Bloomberg because that's the deal I cut with them. They kind of give us a yearly distribution fee that they pay us. But the problem is with Bloomberg, if you go over there, you're talking to get real-time data and everything on that package, you're looking at like $2,500 a month. It's incredibly.
Yeah, it's crazy expensive.
And people are moving away from that, but that was the only deal that we cut like that because it really doesn't affect a lot of our other business. Because somebody who goes on that terminal, we end up getting a lot of consulting deals off of the institutional guys, and it's been a business that's been really good for us.
Oh, I'm sure it has. I have no doubt. I'm sure it has. It's been interesting, but it's been good. But I tell you what, if you send me an email, let me see what I can do on a package deal right now. Well, I think you might have misunderstood my question. Because let me hit it from a different angle. Again, I don't have a subscription to it, and it's taken a little while to get the operating systems question figured out. Now that I have, I'm looking to subscribe, and everything that you show on your program, or the inflection points, the breath scanners, that's part of the service you provide through TFNN. Is that yes or a no or
yeah? I mean, I don't think you're going to need e-signal or anything like that. Everything you need is going to be within here. But I've got this chart coming in to the scanner this week. Now, a lot of people kind of get some kind of package deal between the indicators and the scanner. And I say the indicators, that means it's an overlay on charting packages. Okay. But, we will probably have everything anybody would ever need within the scanner. And then you can, as far as levels painted on charts, nice visual, all that kind of jazz. We've actually written an entire charting package, a separate one. I don't know if I've showed this. Let me just pop this up. Tom's going to kill me. I'm just throwing all kinds of things on the screen right now. That's going to take a little bit to load here. But, this is something that we've really worked on for about 3 years, what I'm getting ready to show you. And this is a really, really low cost way to kind of get a charting package and be able to do some analysis with our indicators, like, beyond some of the things in the scanner. It's going to take a while to load here.
Because it seems to me while we're waiting on that to load in that, I've written down some inflection points from watching your program. Then I go back to Thinkorswim and look at the charts.
Yeah.
Because I trade with a variety. I mean, I believe in, big believer in, swing point price volume comparisons and Fibonacci that I learned a lot from Larry Pesavento. And it seems that a lot of times that those D points and Fibonacci sequences coincide, at least what I've seen so far. tend to coincide with areas of points of resistance shown on the TAS profile. So that's what kind of got my attention.
Right.
So it seems to me, from what I'm hearing from you, and I'm very new, so forgive me for asking a really simple question, but from looking and reading, watching your tutorial, it looks like these profiles are based on areas of high volume price exchange that tends to reveal supply and demand at different price levels on different time levels. And it seems to be almost as if it's points of support and resistance to kind of give you entries and exits. I know that's a very simplified statement, but does that pretty much surmise what the software does?
Yeah, I mean, the profiles are a function of, I mean, the main thing is when do they appear? When do they decide to set their self in stone? That's a proprietary algorithm that we have. But the mechanism that you're talking about, the actual inflection points that you see, there's those three lines. Basically, in layman's terms, the red line, the blue line, and the green line, the unfair low, the unfair high, and then the POC in the middle. That POC is like the mode of a statistical distribution. It's the most well-traveled area volume-wise, and that's why it's not necessarily in the middle of the profile.
Right. So that would be pretty much the top of the bell curve.
Yes. Well, it's the most well-traveled area. That's the most voluminous, kind of print area. But the red and the green line, and I'm just going to, reveal this, is our standard. It's a standard deviation away from the mean of the bell curve. So the blue line's kind of the mode. And then the other lines are are a function based around the mean of that distribution. So, the blue line's kind of like the top of the hill. It's like, things kind of roll down one side and roll down the other. And we've got algorithms that completely run off of when boxes get really wide, when the profiles get really wide, they really focus on that mode, because that is kind of where you can get some momentum going away from it as prices kind of roll off one side or the other. But in kind of normal profiles, those modes or those POCs don't really mean a lot for me. And that's when I kind of tend to focus mainly around these unfair lows and unfair highs. And what I'm doing right now, Dave, to answer your question, I'm going to do a killer video series. If you can just wait literally maybe even till the weekend, they're going to be out, because I have to do those. But we've also got this thing that we do Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday outside of this show, which is also recorded, which I think you can get into the archives in TFNN and just kind of I kind of do maybe reveal some new things every day, not like I'm hiding them, but but it's just things that kind of come up in everyday trading. But we also have this thing Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday that have archives too off of the TAS Market Profile site.
Right. Well, I belong to the website, so I get the archives, but it's the audio, not a video, and it really helps to see what you're talking about. But I want to thank you so much, John. I appreciate it.
Yeah, man. If you just keep watching. I'm going to show this charting package that we've worked on for a while, and we're going to release this too. Thanks.
Has the current market volatility continued to stop you out of trades when the market spikes against you? Now is the perfect time to open up an account with Nadex. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a brand new, completely regulated Chicago-based exchange, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their completely free trading platform, which also features real-time charts and full customization capability. One of the advantages of trading with Nadex in volatile markets is that your risk is always capped and you have the ability of keeping your trades open even when the market spikes against you. Nadex is completely brand new with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com. Or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors.
Tom O'Brien's weekly gold letter, The Gold Report, gives complete and concise coverage of the entire gold market. Inside, you'll get Tom's commentary on gold, the dollar, the rand, the bond, the XAU, the HUI, and detailed coverage of nearly 25 mining stocks. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock trade. The Gold Report is a long-term newsletter where the focus is on building real wealth through the management of a successful portfolio of gold stocks. With a lifetime of knowledge and almost 12 years of writing his informative weekly newsletter, The Gold Report, Tom O'Brien can provide you with the important market information to help you make better trades in the gold market. Don't let the next bull run in gold pass you by. To get a month-long free trial to The Gold Report, an $85 value, visit the front page of TFNN.com today.
David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today.
Hi, I'm Steve Rhodes, host of the Trader's Edge, heard daily at TFNN.com and author of Mastering Probability, a daily investment and trading newsletter service that I send out each morning by 8 a.m. My morning newsletter service covers exactly what the markets have been doing since last night's close, providing you with an edge on your trading day ahead. You get actionable trading ideas, including the exact entry, stop, and profit targets. Plus, I'll teach you the patterns and hidden market correlations that will make you a better trader. As a subscriber, you'll gain access to my 90-minute money management workshop, where I'll teach you the secrets that'll save your assets. The bottom line, I've got your back, including a 30-day money-back guarantee. See for yourself the type of analysis I provide each trading day by signing up for Mastering Probability today. With nothing to lose, this is an offer you should not pass on. Mastering Probability can be found under Trading Newsletters on the front page of TFNN.com.
Catch Larry Pesavento, a 40-year veteran trader. He uses pattern recognition, Gartley's, butterflies, ABCs, and Fibonacci in order to trade these markets. Trade what you see. Next on TFNN.
Hi, guys. Welcome back to the show. Great questions from Dave. I know we're behind. If you're still listening, Dave, I know we're behind on the education component of a lot of things that I do every morning. I hope that you guys can access the archives. I think there's a podcast on the TFNN site that you can actually see the visuals on it instead of just hearing the recording. I think on the archived audio. So, they're telling me now, yes, that's the case. You can go get a podcast version of the show, Dave, and kind of see the visuals and look at it. And it's I think it's kind of cool what we do because it's a pre-market show. You can see what we're talking about that might happen during the day, what the odds are. I'm not right every day. I've kind of been wrong a little bit trying to pick some battles on the long side as these S&Ps came in, even though the short-term breadth indicators told me, and they're very, very right most of the time, it's time to get short, it's time to get short. The dailies and the weeklies weren't necessarily coinciding until we really started getting down into that 2050, 2045, 2040 on the December contract, and that's fine. We're not always going to pick tops and bottoms. I was expecting a little bit more cohesiveness before this thing sold off like it did. But on every topic, we usually try to cover a lot of different scenarios pre-market, and then you can kind of see how those unfold later as you watch them. If you can't watch the pre-market show and can only get the archive. I think let's see, folks can watch the Tiger TV archive and also get the chart archive from our Tiger Dim page. I'm not sure exactly how to do that, but maybe Dave, you can send them an email and they'll give you explicit instructions on that. And again, I'm doing some very good step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 type scenarios on the scanner to actually how to make points on it and hopefully ring the register a little more often for everybody out there. There's so many features in here and so many different angles to take. I'll try to cover, S&P specific information, how to trade indices on here, how to get some edge trading futures, and then how to, drill down as a separate whole part of this, how to drill down and find stock instruments that are acting a certain way, and what these custom sorts mean and things of that nature. So, okay, so I was just kind of flashing this before. This is one of the things that we've been working on seemingly forever. It's our own charting package. It actually has trading built into it. We wrote this entire thing. DLP Trade is one of our programmers. His nickname's DLP, so that's what we call it in a test environment. So, it gives a lot of information. It has a zillion indicators other than the ones we have, as you can see here. But I just wanted to let you know, guys, that we're trying to launch this at the first of the year. We kind of delayed it. But final versions of the scanner will be this week. We've got a lot of programmers going on vacation this weekend, so they have to get out the upgrades this week. And I hope it's tomorrow. It might be Friday at the latest. We might get 2 upgrades this week. I'm not sure. Okay, you got 15 seconds. That's the XLY. It took an all-out market getting crushed to get this thing below profiles. But I think you've got some great opportunities to sell the XLY again at 79.43. We're trading 78.87 right now. So, guys, I'm looking for the S&Ps to retrace a little bit at some point in today's environment. Getting back below 2023, 2021 is going to be a big deal for these things. But you've got a DMZ up to 2032. My stops are definitely above 2032. I'm playing around with this on the short side. Thanks, guys, and thanks, Dave, for calling in. Great questions.
Since 1984, Basil Chapman has been using the Chapman Wave methodology to advise traders of his expert market opinion. While originally hand-drawing charts from the late 1970s into the 1980s, Basil noticed that prices under most circumstances virtually always had a certain number of legs to the upside before declining sharply. Later, Basil found that computer software, which included the standard market technical indicators, enhanced the degree of accuracy in calling price turns as well as market trend calls. Thus was born the Chapman Wave sequence. Using the Chapman Wave methodology along with other indicators, Basil Chapman advises his subscribers of his expert market opinion each market day with his opening call newsletter. Right now, you can get a 2-week free trial to the opening call, Basil's daily trading newsletter, by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Cancel at any time during that trial and pay absolutely nothing. Get your 2-week free trial to Basil's newsletter, The Opening Call, today by visiting TFNN.com.
This is TFNN.